Has, do we have a report on Vandy? How she is health-wise?
He did talk. He said she's still not. I don't know.
to join us today. We have to have 6 to start our meeting with a quorum. We have 3 members that are going to be absent today, so I have just texted him, and he is on the way, so we should be starting just in a few minutes. Anything that you have before us today, and so we're probably only going to be looking at 6 members today. So if you're in doubt about anything, you might want to postpone until the next meeting if you feel like that you need a full council to vote on your matter. But just want to let you know it'll take 5 for you to pass. I had a funeral I had to go to just a little bit earlier. It's at North Hills, or Rest Hills. And the first storm that we had come through here 6 weeks ago or whatever, blew down 2 huge trees out there on top of one full section of markers. And on another side, the same thing over there, and they haven't cleaned it up yet. I asked one of the funeral people, I said, why wouldn't they not have done that? Well, these guys out here have sold out to a company in Houston.
Oh, my goodness.
And their answer was, well, you know, Griffin Leggett is not Little Rock people, or well, Little Rock people, and Houston is Houston people, so. But it really looked bad. I mean, they've blown over on, I'm sure it damaged a lot of grave sites.
So many.
About out there already?
No, apartment building.
Yeah,
City
right,
Hall.
yeah,
They
exactly.
apply New York rules. You have friends.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. 25,000.
Not on purpose, just on what you've been going through, huh? Have they determined what's wrong with you?
I have a appointment.
Then,
Goes on and on for 5.
well, here a couple of months ago, when I was really bad sick. My final checkup yesterday, Good afternoon. I'd like to call the meeting of the North Rock Planning Commission to order today. If you would, please call the roll.
Commissioner Banks, Commissioner Blasco, Commissioner Chambers,
Present.
Commissioner Foster, Commissioner Phillips,
Yes.
Commissioner Pierce? Here. Okay. Yes, you are. Commissioner Wallace,
Here.
Commissioner White, and Chairman Clifton.
Yes. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to excuse those not present.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Excuse those commissioners not present. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We have nothing under administrative. You have been submitted a copy of the minutes of our previous meetings. Are there any additions or corrections?
Move for approval.
Second. Motion made and seconded they be approved as submitted. All in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. We'll move right in now to our planning commission items. We have no old business. Our new business. Did I hear someone?
No,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I bumped the microphone.
Our new business, item number 1, special use case number 2023-14 to allow a type 2 short-term rental in a R4 zone at 2917 JFK. Is the applicant with us? Yes, please come up. Give us your name.
You need to be at the microphone.
Say again, please.
Okay, my name is Deborah Barker.
Sparker? Okay. Mr. Spencer, can you bring us up to date for the people that may not know here, the difference between the short-term rentals? Ms. Donna?
That's right. Okay, so we have two types, a type 1 and a type 2. A type 2 short-term rental is a rental that is not owner-occupied, and the specific use of the property is for a short-term rental. The type 1 short-term rentals are owner-occupied, where you're renting a room or the basement of your home.
Okay. Mr. White?
And again, give me the definition, short term.
Less than 30 days.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Barker, would you like to say something on this? Okay, you just, you made your application, and this comes before the commission for, will it need to go before the city council after this? If this is approved here or denied here, it goes before the city council?
I would like to say it has been a short-term rental since April of last year. So over the last year, we have run it as that type of business.
Okay, and how did it come to be that you're before us today?
Because the city has changed its ordinances and we need to zone it differently.
Okay, were you notified of this, or did you find out on your own and call about it?
We found out on our own.
Well, good
and
for you. Thank you.
Mr. Chambers.
Mr. Chambers. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Ms. James, is the application complete in all respects?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to speak on this application? Mr. White?
Don't they have an association?
They do, and Ms. Minyard is present.
Okay. So if she's against it, we'll hear from her.
I would assume so.
All right, thank you.
She's not shy.
Okay.
Is there anyone that would like to speak on this application? Have you had any, I don't see anyone. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you wanting to speak, ma'am? Sure. Yes, ma'am. Please come forward. Give us your name, please.
My name is Kendall Daniels. Live in the area, and I'm a real estate agent with iRealty. And I think a beautiful short-term rental is anything better than that stinky hotel there that we can't get rid of. So thank you for being a wonderful, pretty place to put people, and maybe you can buy the hotel. But that's all. I, as a realtor, think it is a good thing with that location.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Wallace,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
and Chairman Clifton.
Yes. Application did see Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you where to go next.
Okay, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Item number 2 is special use case number 2023-16 to allow an outdoor display and sale of spas within the Kane Mall parking lot in a C3 zone located at 3929 McCain Boulevard. Is the applicant here? Yes, please come forward. Give us your name for the record, please.
Courtney Stevens.
Okay, Ms. Stevens. Is this to be a temporary permit you're asking for?
Yes, sir.
How long?
7 days.
7 days? Do they meet all the requirements for a
Yes,
temporary?
yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had any comments from any of the neighbors?
No, sir.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak about this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? Mr. White?
My only concern is McCain Mall, it's outside. We have enough issues going on at McCain Mall anyway with crime and empty buildings. It's only 7 days, but the problem that I have with it is, if you remember, and Sean will remember this, and I think Norman, is on the corner, you know, we had pots and plants sold forever and ever. So my question is no offense to your company, but they go out in 7 days, and then 7 days later, another company comes in. And 7 days later, another company. They have to come in front of us every time. But my concern does it, in this, I guess the attorney, if we approve this one, does that mean we have to approve the next one? Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chambers?
Is the location as shown on this map near J.C. Penney, which is basically the opposite side from McCain and the interstate? You
Yes, sir.
literally have to drive behind the mall to see this display,
Yes, sir.
Okay. The site plan review, or the staff has made some conditions to consider. Have you reviewed those conditions?
I personally have not.
I'm sorry?
I personally have not.
Okay, is
I'm
someone
representing-
representing this business?
I'm representing somebody.
Okay? And so you have not reviewed the conditions that we can consider on this?
Ms. James will give them to her.
She's the local contact. I've been dealing with the lady in Florida who is agreeable to the conditions that have
Okay,
been
okay.
placed on this item.
Okay, all right, good. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
Wallace?
Yes.
White?
No.
Chambers?
I was opposed to this until I noticed the location, and the back of the ball is okay by me, yes.
And Chairman Clifton?
Yes. Your application did pass. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next, and I'm sure you'll be in touch with the applicant.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, item number 3, special use case number 2023-17 to allow a law office within the applicant's home in an R2 zone at 412 West 5th Street in North Little Rock. Is the applicant here? Yes, please come forward. Give us your name, please.
Nikki Nicolo, N-I-C-K-I, Nicolo, N-I-C-O-L-O.
Okay?
Point of information, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Chambers.
May I ask a quick question of staff about the last application prior to considering this one? Who was going to get the special use? The mall or the applicant?
No, the applicant.
That's all I need. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's what.
Yes, ma'am. You want to briefly tell us what you're trying to do here? Do you live here?
I do. I
Okay.
live there, and I'm a solo practitioner, and I would like to be able to work out of my home. I
No, it's just
run a boutique-type law firm.
we only received.
I meet with maybe one client every 3 weeks. Right now, I've been meeting in West Little Rock with another attorney that I associate with. I had a commercial office in downtown North Little Rock since 2011 on 4th Street. And then I rehabbed this home on 5th Street where I live now. And I would just like to be able to meet with clients occasionally in my home, and also have my independent contractors, like a law student, come over and do some work with me if needed. An administrative person. I've never had more than 2 people working with me at any given time as an independent contractor since 2011. I don't think it'll affect the neighborhood in any way. I have sufficient parking in the front, so nobody else would be parking in my front. And then I also have parking in my back. There's an alley, and there's 4 parking spots in the back. And so I do not believe this will hurt the neighbors or anything like that. And I did go around to almost all of the neighbors in person and talk to them. And then the ones that were outside of my block, I sent certified letters to as well. And so I think that everybody is on board, and I don't think I'm going to hurt the neighborhood in any way or add extra traffic or anything of that nature.
The pictures that I'm seeing here is the little white building at the back of the property, I guess?
That's actually a storage unit. The downstairs is where I would meet with people.
They're not trying to use this property, okay.
Not that. That's my backyard.
Yeah.
If you,
Have you been able to review the considerations, condition considerations?
yes, I have.
You agree with all of those?
Yes, the only, I pointed this out to Donna, is that when it says the office use shall be solely operated by the applicant, no, or non-resident employees are not permitted. I don't have employees, but I do have independent contractors, so I wanted to make that clear that, like, my law clerk would be coming over, the person who does administrative work, who also works from home, would be coming over, so I wanted to make that clear.
So you wouldn't be employing anyone on a regular timed basis?
No, and I mean, it depends on what we've got going on. Like, if I've got a court case, she may be over there.
Well, I understand, but like a regular wage an hour?
No.
Time, okay. Ms. Chambers?
Yes, sir. I have a small amount of knowledge of activities like this on Fifth Street. Just in full disclosure, I too have a small business. I'm the sole operator, and I live on Fifth Street, 2 blocks away. And I probably have half a client a month come see me, maybe. And I have sufficient parking on the street, so no one's bothered, but no, I do not have any assistance. The property across the street was formerly an engineering firm. They are a PUD, which allowed them to write their own zoning ordinance. And even then, we treated them much like a special use and required that they park any employees, and he had employees too, and they were required to park in the back, off the alley. If you can assure me that your contract workers would park, I noticed there's sufficient space beside the storage building. If they can park there, then your once per month clients would not be a trouble on that street. That is a more densely parked end of Fifth Street, though.
Yes, I have
It is public parking, so if someone's having a party, your client may park a block down the street.
That is correct, but my fence is in, and so there's 4 parking spots in the back of the alley.
And if you wanted to make it easier on the public, you could always ask a client that you see maybe regularly to park back there.
Yes.
That would be helpful. I'm very sensitive to properties slowly migrating toward commercial use, short-term rental, businesses, things like that. But a single proprietor that lives in the building, it's your home and this is your office, it's probably the softest piece of commercial work you can do.
Okay. Mr. White?
Sean? I don't understand
So the issue is, it's a house, they're allowed to have a home office at your house, which means nobody comes at all, nobody. It's just family members. So she's wanting to bring an independent contractor in, which would be, it's not a family member. So we're doing a special use. Correct, yes. Well, I mean, but for them to get their business license, so they've said that no customers are coming. So you know, they have to sign that, so. Yeah, I know.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any other comments from the commissioners? On the application, please call the roll.
Chambers,
She's doing what I'm doing. I agree. Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
I'm going to abstain because I own the property next door.
Wallace?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
And Chairman Clifton.
Yes. Your application did pass. See Mr. Spencer, and he can tell you what to do next. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is subdivision. Mr. Chambers?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Design Review Committee met and considered item SD 2023-46 S&D renovations addition, Lot 1, preliminary plat and site plan review for a new accessory building at 5720 MacArthur Drive. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 23 and subsections, and the Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Second. Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? On the application as presented, all in favor, or please call the roll. No, all in favor, aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item number 5A is conditional use. The West North Little Rock Commercial Edition of Lot 6, a conditional use to allow an auto repair, minor auto repair at 12601 Maumelle Boulevard. Is the applicant here? Give us your name, please.
Angel Robinson.
Okay. Have you had a chance to review the conditions?
Yes.
Do you agree with all those conditions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Have we had any comments from the neighborhood? No. Okay, any comments from any of the commissioners? So this will be for a future building development that they will have to bring their plans in.
Item
Build permit,
6B,
y'all.
that's 5B. 5B.
Get your next item.
Yes, okay. Okay, on the application as submitted, please call the roll.
Chambers?
Yes.
Phillips? Yes. Pierce?
Yes.
Wallace? Yes. White? Yes. And Chairman Clifton.
Yes. Your application did pass. We'll go to item number 5B. Mr. Chambers?
Yes, sir. The Design Review Committee met and considered item SD 2023-47 WNLR Commercial Edition Lot 6, final plat and site plan review to allow auto repair minor at 12,601 Maumelle Boulevard. The applicant was present and agreed to items 1 through 16 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded, this application be approved as submitted. Are there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6 is
Item
SD
6.
2023-48, Lot A, Block 9, Giles Addition, site plan review to allow the placement of 36 single-bedroom and 2 double-bedroom units at 412 Parker Street. The applicant was present, agreed through items 1 through 15 in subsections, and the Development Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded, this application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? I'm sorry? Okay. Any comments? You'd like to come up and take a better look at it?
This is on Parker, east of Pike Avenue, between Pike and Rockwater. There you go.
Are there any comments from anyone in the audience? Yes, ma'am. Come on up and come up to the microphone. Go ahead and give your name, please.
Stephanie Minyard. Are there apartments around it now? What's around it?
We have approved apartments in that area in previous meetings. Also, this land has been zoned multifamily for decades.
So it's actually an improvement to the area. Nobody's going to be out parking.
I don't live there, so I can't state that a fact, but I do know that the land has been zoned for this use for decades.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from any of the commissioners? All in favor of the application as submitted? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item 7A is a public hearing for Lot A, Wright Industrial Addition, for a variance from the Hillside Cut Ordinance 7520 on Counts Massey Road. We will call a public hearing to order now. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak at this public hearing? Any comments from anyone? Mr. Chambers?
I have not seen any drawings on this, cross-sections, a geotechnical report, or anything. And I didn't know if my main concern is that when you cut into the hill and you're asking for a variance and such, that the sedimentary plates of the soil or the stone are actually in a favorable angle so that it doesn't slide back on you. Yes, sir, Mr. Pownell?
Thomas Pownell with Thomas Engineering, Mr. Chambers. We submitted plans and cross-sections and a geotechnical report for this. Can't remember the angle. I know exactly what you're asking, but the geotechnical report was favorable for the cut in general. I can't remember the slope, though. I don't remember about the angle of the sedimentary rock.
Okay, can you tell me, is there anything at the top of the slope that may not benefit from this cut if it were to slide?
At the top of the slope and to the east of the property is undeveloped right now.
It is undeveloped.
And it's kind of the top of the slope too.
Kind of feel like I'm working blind here, but
If you would like, I brought my copies. They're
Has,
small, but
Has all this report been submitted to the city engineer,
yes, sir, I believe so.
and it has been approved? Any comments from them on any of it? Okay.
City engineer approved, I will leave it in their pocket.
Any other comments on the public hearing? Any other comments from the commissioners on the public hearing? I will close this public hearing now, and we don't need to do anything else other than close it, right?
Vote. You have to vote, yes.
Okay,
Actually, this is for variance in the hillside cut ordinance. Right?
It's worded as a variance, but it's, if I remember correctly, the Hillside Cut Ordinance is a function of the Planning Commission. and
That's
not-
correct.
And not the council.
That's correct. The word variance is in there, but this is just like every other hillside cut proposal that we've seen during the time I've been here, Mr. Chambers.
In other words, there's nothing exceptional that I'm
Correct.
approving here.
Right.
Got
You're just reading the language as it's written.
it. Got it.
Thank you.
okay.
A hillside cut in and of itself is a variance. Got it.
Okay, we have had the public hearing. We will now vote.
Move to accept the engineer's report and the hillside cut.
Motion made and seconded that we accept this application as presented. Please call the roll.
Chambers,
Yes.
Phillips. Yes. Pierce,
Yes.
Wallace. Yes. White. Yes. And Chairman Clifton.
Yes, your application was passed. See Mr. Spencer, and they can tell you what to do next.
Thanks, sir.
Our next item is item number 7B, subdivision. Mr. Chambers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 7B is SD 2023-49 Lot A Rights Industrial Subdivision replat site plan review to allow the placement of 2 warehouse buildings in 2 phases at 7520 Council Massey Road. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 15 in subsections, and the Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded. Motion made
Gotta
and
take
seconded.
Bandy's place.
Be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on this application? Any comments from commissioners? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Item 8 is SD 2023-51, excuse me. Sutton's addition, Lot 4R, to allow a 50,000 square foot addition to an existing warehouse at 8504 MacArthur Drive. The applicant was present, agreed to items 1 through 13 in subsections, and the Design Review Committee recommends approval.
Motion made and seconded. This application be approved as submitted. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on this application? Any comments from the commissioners? On the application, all in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. That concludes the agenda. Is there anyone have any public comment they would like to make at this time?
Move for adjourn. Move to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded. We adjourn. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White.